There are a few things that I can't stop thinking about. My mind moves in lots of directions. I don't usually find myself caught in one current. But the things that fascinate me and that I think compel me powerfully, question sexuality. You know, like there are a number of ways in which this culture and probably most of the planet has been besieged by religious perspectives that in various ways degrade the body and degrade the possibilities of the erotic. And hence we have so many weird knots in the skull about sexuality, be it in film or be it in the world or be it imagining beyond the heterosexual or beyond the traditional, you know, one man, one woman, man on top, woman on bottom. I mean, there's so much confusion about, is it acceptable to be erotic in a multiplicity of ways? And that interests me because I think there's something at the core of our sexuality that's really about human liberation. The idea of being able to embrace your body and to use your body as a vehicle of expression to other people, whomever you dig, you know, seems to me a fundamental right in being a person. And to the extent that that has been subverted and denied us, I think it's really twisted the psyche of human beings in ways that are really dangerous. I think war becomes more possible when our erotic impulses are thrust toward eros is sublimated into other things. I think, for example, a lot of our obsession with violence in this culture is all about sexuality being turned inside out or turned on its head. I mean, think about it. Why would X-rated movies be rated X, but I can go watch men slaughter other men all day, rated PG or R? Why is that? That's completely upside down. What's obscene is murder. What is beautiful is the possibilities of the erotic. It's what brought all of us here, right? But that's not how the world works, you know? So I think that's a crucial thing. That chews on my brain a lot.
Think that's a well-founded fear?
I don't know. I mean, in this country, poetry is largely ignored. You know, I mean, it's not like every other person is like, let's see what the poets are doing. I mean, I think there is a growing audience for poetry, but I don't know whether poetry is a force that the government feels needs to be reckoned with. It may become that. It may be becoming that now. There is more and more poetry. There are a lot more people who read and listen to poets. If this were a different country, if this were Argentina in the 70s, yes, it'd be a dangerous, something really to think about. But at this point, I think largely Americans don't read nearly as much as, you know, writers would dream they would. And as a consequence, they may be less able to read poems, even if they encounter them. Their reading skills may have dropped to a point where they're not seeing maybe certain kinds of metaphor or certain kinds of allegory that poets are embedding in their work, right? So I can't imagine the government is already threatened by poets. It may be coming, but it's not something I think about. That's the truth, you know? And I've certainly written some poems some that you have not seen because they're not published, that I would imagine would certainly raise the eyebrow of a number of dictators were we living somewhere else, you know. There are lots of things going on in my head. And so what I do to work in different persona is basically I try to get out of the way. I get my normal mind and personality out of the way and invite whomever, cartoon or virus or a graphic novel character to inhabit my mind and speak through me. So it's a kind of, and gosh, don't take this literally, but it's a kind of possession. And so that your own sensibility doesn't invade the voice of these other characters. Now, of course, I'm writing the poems. It's not like I think, no, I've been taken over. It's not that literally, but there is this thing that I think comes with practice that you do have to push yourself out of the way and allow some other kind of mind to inhabit you, you know, and to the extent that you're able to do that, you're more able to create a convincing version of this other consciousness. Because no one wants to hear Tim Seibles as Blade. That's not what people want. You know, and people want to hear Blade as Blade. But of course, I'm the lens through which Blade is looking, right? I mean, I am in a presence in the poem. But you hope if you're writing well that it feels like Blade was telling me something and I wrote it down. That's what you hope the effect is. Or that a virus spoke to me and I was taking dictation. That's what it should feel like. But of course, I'm inventing as well, you know.